Ellie had been putting up a tremendous fight in the Gustav house as she chased Mora around. The Gustav's matriarch had made it to one of the ships and started to take off when Sigvald raced up the side of the building, smashing straight into the ship, using his beak to tear a giant hole in its hull. As it began to tilt and lean, the people on the boat, Mora included, desperately scrambled to get off, a few of them falling, screaming to their death. With a loud cry, Sigvald lunged toward Mora, but before he could get there, a massive hand made of water slammed into him, driving him back. From around the side of the building came a sea giant close to 50 feet tall and made of surging seawater. The giant fixed its single beady eye on Ellie and then spat a jet of water so strong it carved the stone apart when it hit. She flew back as Sigvald dodged in another direction and flapped his wings, charging toward the giant's head to rake its eye.
Sigvald, retreat!
At the last moment, Sigvald dove to the side as a second head emerged from its shoulders, unleashing a blast of water that cut through the air where Sigvald had just been. The sea giant bought enough time for the captain of the guards to arrive, and with him came the Gustav family's guards in full force. Screaming battle cries, they charged toward Ellie, seeming to have no care for the captives she held. Realizing that their usefulness was coming to an end, Ellie debated whether she should kill them or not. Making her decision, she began to squeeze. Quell let out a scream and vanished with a clap of thunder. Isla wasn't so lucky. With an audible snap, her neck broke and the light died out of her eyes.
What have you done?
Ellie dropped Isla's body. It was strange, and even in that moment of chaos, as she was attacked from all directions, Ellie found herself wondering if John's influence was rubbing off on her, or if this was a side effect of her transformation. She found that these days she didn't even think of herself as human, almost considering herself a different species from those around her. It was a strange feeling and made her much more indifferent to human life, but she didn't have much time to dwell on it as she cast lightning shields and threw bolts at her attackers. Up above, Sigvald was doing his best to keep the sea giant busy, but it was getting harder and harder.
Sigvald, return!
The rooster let out a loud cry, diving through the air and vanishing into her back. Two massive wings of pure lightning spread from her shoulder blades, and she launched herself forward, smashing straight through the guards who surrounded her and crashing into the building. Rather than flee, she chose to enter, hoping to be able to make it to where Mora and her son were hiding. Behind her, she could hear the loud blast of a trumpet that announced the city guard were coming, as well as hear Dell's angry shouts. Whether he knew what his wife had been doing or not, Ellie really didn't care. She was halfway to her destination when the air shimmered and a man appeared. He wore simple clothing made from crimson cloth and stitched with silver thread, but the sword he held in his hands was anything but. Trepidation filled Ellie's heart as she caught sight of the black blade, and she knew she was in trouble. Instead of continuing forward, she turned to the right and accelerated, only to find that the man had reached her with a single step. His sword rose and he looked at her with cold eyes that seemed to cut straight through her. Her third eye flared, and at the last moment she rolled to the side, barely avoiding the decapitating strike that fell toward her. Faint surprise flickered in the man's eyes as there was a tremendous explosion where his sword impacted the ground. Seeing that Ellie had raced off at top speed, the man followed, drawing back his sword for another attack.